Welcome to week 2, believe it or not. And it's an 8-week class, and it flies by. We're already in week 2. And I'm going to just say a few things about the on-campus classes last week, which were excellent. One question that came up is there may be inconsistencies in the course shell, and I'm going through the course shell, but what it was I took the 10-week format and broke it down into the summer format. And so you might see that you have discussions posted with inconsistent directions. The discussion's initial posts have to be 350 words for the summer class. During the quarters and eventually the semesters, when we have those, it'll be a longer amount, 750. But remember, it's 350, 350. And I'm trying to go through and make those corrections. But if I should miss it, it's 350 words per discussion post. And then come back and offer 2 50-word posts to different classmates. Just follow the discussions the way they've been going with people who've posted. They've all done an excellent, excellent job. So having said that, I wanted to also bring your attention to the course materials section that's on the discussion board. I'll just let you go on this for a second and show you what you have available, because we're coming up on a week 2, and week 2 has some interesting material. So under course materials, everybody who's weighed in on the first piece, the child abuse and neglect law, has done very well. Although it's not for points, you have to finish it before the course is over to complete the requirement. And I was glad to see a lot of people got a head start on that. Bloom's taxonomy and Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I offer these to you as opposed to having them embedded in a unit, because these are 2 very important pieces on educational psychology. Bloom's taxonomy is very important when it comes to talking about different visuals that we offer for appreciating Bloom's taxonomy. But what we have here is what I learned under and what you're learning under now, or what your colleagues are learning under. It's basic when we say taxonomy, we talk about a hierarchy of thinking. And so, like, who's the President of the United States? Barack Obama. That's knowledge. And here it's remembering. Comprehension is the old term. Well, why is he president? Because he was elected. That's understanding. Application. How was he elected? The Electoral College voted after people voted for their specific state's slate of electorates. That would be application and applying. These are the 3 levels. This is the old version. This is the new version. Analysis. What caused these people to vote for Barack Obama? Well, at the time we were under an enormous economic strain, and people voted for change, and he was promoting change. And so analysis and analyzing are very much the same thing. Synthesis would be, how did he get elected? The Electoral College got together, they met, and they voted after conventions had met and nominated 2 different candidates. And so that's pretty much synthesis. In terms of the revised version, evaluating, it's the same thing. And evaluation under the old is creating now, and that is what happened after Obama got elected. Good things happened, some other good things didn't happen that he had promised, etc. Make your own judgment. It's the same thing in terms of thinking skills development in your classroom. Even if you're teaching P1 learners, you can get them to be very domain specific in understanding something to the point where they remember basic facts, the understanding of how those facts apply, and then applying the material, analyzing it, creating something new, and then evaluating whether it's right or wrong. You can even do this with little kids. The problem is, the challenges, and it's actually just demonstrated, research demonstrates that the fact is you can get little kids to do these whole hierarchies, but they're not at the brain development level where they can, in fact, make evaluative judgments across the parameters. You could get them to analyze Steph Curry's shot and go through all that related to Steph Curry, but they can't then do it to LeBron James. So that's just something for the younger, if you plan on teaching younger learners to understand. That's Bloom's taxonomy. The last piece, and then there are different visuals here for you to look at. I would ask that you look at that. So that's Bloom's taxonomy. And let's see. Then we go to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And this is very brief and very basic, but in order for learners to be able to learn, they have to have a level of needs met, and one level depends on the next. For instance, when you see free and reduced lunch programs at school, or free breakfast programs, that's to satisfy a physical need. They also need to feel safe. School needs to be a safe place, and that's second. But this is make sure they're fed, they're clothed, they're warm. This is making sure they feel safe. Then we establish a love and belonging atmosphere in our classroom so that they can depend on certain learners in their classroom and they can have friends in that class, building their own self-esteem and thereby achieving their very best self-actualization. This is a lifelong process here, so you don't have to accomplish this all in your first year, but you should accomplish the first 3 levels, and hopefully you see elements of the 4th level beginning to sprout. So look through the material on Maslow's hierarchy of needs when you get a moment. Now, this is the data related to special needs section for the assignment that's listed in the syllabus. This is the multiple intelligence test that I'm asking you to take to submit when it's due. And the lesson plan format is also available to you. Under week 2, you have very good material located here to show you, come on, call up. Let's see if it comes up. You have under week 2 here, the self and moral development. You want to look at that, and then the other material under moral development as well. Under the Start Here syllabus link, Start Here syllabus link, we'll do that. I have emailed these to you, and I wanted to just bring your attention to this. There were a couple of questions, and I don't blame you. It was a full week for you last week, and I just think it's important for you to be able to have a visual as to what you see when. So I sent you this as well and on an announcement, and also I've listed it for you here. And let me see, 1 second. Just a few minutes. There you go. Week 1 discussions 1 and 2 are due this Monday. That's a soft deadline. They're due for sure on Monday, July 4th. Week 2 discussions 1 and 2. That's a hard deadline of July 4th. So you have discussions 1 and 2 here and discussions 1 and 2 here due July 4th. Week 3 discussions 1 and 2 have a hard deadline of July 11th. Week 4 discussions 1 and 2 have a hard deadline of July 18th. Week 5 rather, discussions 1 and 2 have a hard deadline of July 25th, all Monday at 11:59 p.m. Week 6 discussions 1 and 2 have a hard deadline of August 1st, 11:59 p.m. Week 7 discussions 1 and 2 due Monday, August 8th at 11:59 p.m. Same holds true for the performance assessment and for the self-assessment of learning style. The performance assessment is I offer the data under the course materials for you to look at. Week 8 discussion 1 and only one hard deadline of August 15th, and you have your lesson plan due on August 15th. Now I will say more about these as we go forward, but I wanted to give you a heads up on that. So far, I've appreciated the responses. That first week is soft. People getting registered, people getting the textbook, people figuring out the platform. But remember that these 2 specific areas are due for sure by Monday, July 4th. I recommend that you get as much work done in this class as you possibly can and be done with it by Thursday morning of this week so you can have a happy 4th of July holiday. Feedback from previous years when I've taught this class, it's pretty strong when they say that, yeah, I took that time, because you want that 4th of July holiday to regenerate. You don't get any time off until your courses end in the summer, and then before you know it, you're starting up at school and starting the fall classes. So great first week. It's my pleasure to teach you, and I look forward to reading your responses. So long.